Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, we will study about the geological formation of groundwater. We have already discussed about the types of groundwater, the zones in which the groundwater is divided, and the consequences of groundwater withdrawal. If you have not seen that video, you can check them from the link given in the description. As we have discussed earlier that there are four types of geological formation of groundwater. First, we will discuss about the aquifer. An aquifer is a saturated formation of the earth. It not only stores the water but also yields it in adequate quantity. The aquifers are highly permeable formations and so they are considered as the main source of groundwater applications. The deposits of sands and gravels are the examples of aquifer. Aquifers are further classified as unconfined aquifers and confined aquifers on the basis of their occurrence. First, we will know about the unconfined aquifers. You can also understand this by this figure. The unconfined aquifer is an aquifer which has a free surface water. That means the water table exists for this type of aquifer. It is also called as water table aquifer, free aquifer or phreatic aquifer. The unconfined aquifers are recharged by the infiltration of precipitation from the ground surface. Second type of aquifer is confined aquifer. A confined aquifer is an aquifer which is confined between two impermeable beds such as aquifers, aquiclude, etc. The water in this aquifer will be under the greater pressure which is greater than the atmospheric pressure. Hence, the water level shown by piezometer is always higher than the top level of the confined aquifer. A well drilled into it will be have naturally rising above the surface of the confined aquifer. In case the well is called artesian well. The level to which the water rises in this well is known as piezometric surface. Then the artesian well would be naturally flowing well. These wells are found in the sedimentary rocks. The recharge of confined aquifers occurs at a place where it is exposed to the ground surface. Third type of geological formation of groundwater is aquitard. It is also a saturated formation. It permits the water through it but does not yield water in sufficient quantity as much as aquifer does. This is because of the partially permeable nature of aquitards. But however, if there is an aquifer under the aquitard, then the water from the aquitard may seep into the aquifer. The sandy clay is a perfect example of the aquitard. Third geological formation of groundwater is aquiclude and it is impermeable to the flow of water. The aquiclude contains a large amount of water in it but it does not permit water through it and it also does not yield water. This is because of its high porosity. The clay is an example of aquiclude. Fourth is the aquifers. Aquifers is also an impermeable geological formation which is neither porous nor permeable. That means it cannot store water in it and at the same time it cannot permit water through it. The compact rocks are the example of aquifers. Next we will know about the purged aquifers. These are the special case of unconfined aquifer. They occur whenever a groundwater body is separated from the main groundwater by a relatively impermeable stratum of small area extent and by the zone of aeration above the main body of groundwater. It commonly produced by the thin lenses of impermeable rocks within permeable ones. Although these aquifers may be good water source at some times of the year, they need to be relatively thin and small and so these can be easily depleted within overpumping. At last, let's have a quick revision on what we have learned today. The aquifers can hold as well as transmit water under normal hydraulic conditions. Sandstones and gravel systems are the examples of aquifers. Aquifers are of two types. First is unconfined aquifers and second is the confined aquifers. Aqueducts are the materials which can hold and also transmit water, but both or either of these quantities are so low that it cannot form a well. The example of aqueducts are sandy clay. Aquiclude can hold water but cannot transmit water, and clay is an example of aquiclude. Aquifuse can neither hold nor transmit water. The example of aquifuse is solid granite rocks and igneous rocks. So that's all for today. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.